Hello children, today in this part of our unit 2, that is structure of atom, we are going to study about Bohr's model of hydrogen atom and its limitations, and also we are going to explain hydrogen spectrum, the spectrum of hydrogen atom using Bohr theory. Firstly, we will learn about Bohr model of hydrogen atom. There are some postulates in this Bohr model of hydrogen atom. Firstly, that is, the electron in the hydrogen atoms moves around the nucleus in a circular path having fixed radius and energy. That is, those circular paths have fixed radius and energy. These paths are called orbits. These paths are called orbits. Otherwise, we call it as stationary states or allowed energy states. But often we use the terms orbits or stationary states. Those are arranged concentrically around the nucleus. And these energy states for electrons are numbered as n is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. This n is called as principal quantum numbers. Here is the representation. Here you can see the nucleus and the electrons are moving around the nucleus in a circular path. We call this circular path as orbits, and these orbits are represented using the principal quantum numbers, that is represented as small letter n, and these whole energy states are represented as n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3, etc. Now we will move on to the second postulate, that is, the energy of an electron in the orbit does not change with time. The energy of an electron in the orbit does not change with time. That is the second postulate of Bohr's model of hydrogen atom. But the electron, we know that electron will move from a lower stationary state to a higher stationary state, and energy is emitted when the electrons move from higher to lower state. Also, we know that energy change does not occur in a continuous manner. Here the energy of the orbit is given as the equation En is equal to minus R into 1 by n square, where n takes the values, that is the principal quantum number, n is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. And also the constant R here is called as Rydberg constant, and it takes the value 2.18 into 10 raised to minus 18 joules. So we can find the energy for the first orbit, that is E1 is equal to minus 2.18 into 10 raised to minus 18 into 1 by 1 square, that is equal to minus 2.18 into 10 raised to minus 18 joules. Likewise, we can find the energy for the stationary state 2, n is equal to 2, by substituting in this equation. Now, this is the third postulate, that is, the frequency of radiation absorbed or emitted when transition occurs between two stationary states is given by nu is equal to delta E by H, that is equal to, delta is the difference between two orbits, that is E2 minus E1 by H, that is equal to the frequency, where E1 and E2 are the energies of the lower and higher allowed energy states respectively. And this expression is known as Bohr's frequency rule. Now this is the fourth postulate. This is the fourth postulate, that is, the angular momentum of an electron in a given stationary state can be expressed as mvr is equal to n into h divided by 2 pi, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. And also we can find the radius using the equation r is equal to n square into a0, where a0 takes the value 52.9 picometer. Thus we can say that the radius of the first stationary state called the Bohr orbit, that is equal to 52.9 picometer. So this will be the radius of the hydrogen atom, since it has only one stationary state. From the equation of radius, we can say that as n increases, as the principal quantum number increases, the radius increases, that is, the electron is away from the nucleus. Bohr theory can also be applied to the ions containing only one electron, that is, it will be similar to the hydrogen atom. The energy of those kind of ions, or we can say that the species like hydrogen atom, we can give the expression. Here is the expression, that is En is equal to minus 2.18 into 10 raised to minus 18 into z square divided by n square, and the expression for the radius is equal to, that is r is equal to 52.9 into n square divided by z. Here z is the atomic number. Also, it is also possible to calculate the velocities of electrons moving in these orbits. That is, velocity decreases with the increase in principal quantum number. That is, as we move away from the nucleus, the velocity of electron decreases. Next, we are going to explain the line spectrum of hydrogen by using Bohr theory. I told in the last class that the radiation or energy is absorbed if the electron moves from lower to higher stationary state, and it emits energy or radiation when it moves from higher to lower energy state. So there will be a difference in energy between two orbitals, that is represented as delta E. This energy difference between two orbits is given by the equation delta E is equal to EF minus EI. So we can write delta E is equal to minus RH divided by NF square minus of minus RH divided by NI square. NI and NF is the principal quantum number for initial and final stage. Hence, we can rewrite the equation delta E is equal to RH into 1 by Ni square minus 1 by Nf square, that is equal to 2.18 into 10 raised to minus 18 into 1 by Ni square minus 1 by Nf square, where Ni and Nf stand for initial orbit and final orbit. Also, we can write that the frequency associated with the absorption and emission of the photon, it can be written as nu is equal to delta E by delta H. Here we know the value for delta E, that is, we can rewrite the formula as nu is equal to RH divided by H into 1 by Ni square minus 1 by Nf square. By substituting the values for the constants, we can write the formula as nu is equal to 3.29 into 10 raised to 15 into 1 by Ni square minus 1 by Nf square. And in terms of wave numbers, that is nu bar, we can write it has nu bar is equal to nu by C, that is equal to RH divided by H into C into 1 by Ni square minus 1 by Nf square. By substituting the values for the constants, we can get the equation as nu bar is equal to 1.09677 into 10 raised to 7 into 1 by Ni square minus 1 by Nf square. Now we will move on to the last part, that is limitations of Bohr's model. These are the mainly 4 limitations we are going to study. That is, first limitation is it fails to account for the doublet formed in the hydrogen atom spectrum, that is observed using the sophisticated spectroscopic techniques. That is, this model is also unable to explain the spectrum of atoms other than hydrogen. Next limitation we are going to study is it is also failed to explain the splitting of spectral lines in the presence of magnetic field and electric field, that is Zeeman effect and Stark effect. The fourth limitation is it could not explain the ability of atoms to form molecules by chemical bonds. These are about the Bohr model of atom and its limitations.